This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, July 15th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. President Biden ventured to Capitol Hill to lobby Senate Democrats to rally behind a $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package. Congressional reporter Harris Alec reports the president, speaking at a Senate Democratic conference lunch, urged lawmakers to get behind the deal and get this done for the American people. The visit came a day after the Senate Budget Committee agreed to a tentative framework for the package. The panel will be responsible for shepherding the deal through the budget reconciliation process in the Senate. That process, which allows spending bills to avert the Senate's filibuster and pass with a simple majority of 51 votes, is the only option for the package because Republican support is unlikely for the deal. An appellate court has struck down a 53-year-old federal law that bars handgun sales to anyone younger than 21, setting up a potential Supreme Court case. Legal Affairs reporter Alex Sawyer reports the 4th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, based in Richmond, Virginia, said the 1968 law violates the Second Amendment. The court issued the 2-1 ruling in a case involving a 19-year-old woman. She sought to buy a handgun when an abusive ex-boyfriend failed to appear for a court proceeding after she secured a protective order against him. Congress enacted the law to help curb juvenile crime. It has banned licensed dealers from selling handguns to anyone younger than 21, but didn't bar the sale of shotguns and rifles. Legal scholars say such split decisions in appellate courts typically result in Supreme Court cases. Nearly 800,000 U.S. troops deployed at least once to Afghanistan. 2,000 died, and another 20,000 suffered grievous wounds. But as with the Vietnam War, those who served have been coming to terms with the fact the U.S. is pulling out with the job undone. Military reporter Mike Glenn talked with veterans of the Afghanistan War who reflected on their experiences there. Feelings about the end of the war from veterans and Gold Star families who lost loved ones will be likely a mixture of sadness and even anger, retired Army General Joseph Vodal told Mike. Pentagon officials and the White House expressed confidence that the Afghan government has a well-trained army capable of defending itself against the Taliban, and say the pessimism of many veterans is overstated. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. Let's touch on a pair of stories from state politics that have national implications. First, the group of Texas Democratic legislators that have settled for the time being in Washington, D.C. are being feted by Democrats but lampooned by Republicans. Valerie Richardson reports on the public relations challenge for the wayward Democrats as they seek to leverage their dramatic departure. Republicans accuse the lawmakers of playing to the cameras while abandoning their constitutionally mandated duties in Austin. The Democrats say they plan to stay until the end of Texas's special legislative session on August 7th if necessary to thwart the elections bill that's backed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He's vowed to keep calling such sessions as often as needed to pass the measure. And in Pennsylvania, next year's Republican gubernatorial primary is shaping up as a battle for the Trump vote and as a sometimes clumsy rush to gain the former president's endorsement. Dave Boyer reports among a dozen declared or likely Republican candidates are former 4-term Congressman Lou Barletta, known for his tough views on immigration, State Senator Doug Mastriano, who started a 2020 election audit, and former U.S. Attorney William McSwain of Philadelphia. The former president hasn't signaled his intention, but Barletta is working with the political consulting firm National Public Affairs, which is run by a trio of former Trump campaign officials. And finally, James Varney looks at a study of civics and U.S. history standards from the conservative Thomas B. Fordham Institute. The study found that students in all 50 states are expected to learn about slavery, Jim Crow laws, and the civil rights movement, despite claims that public schools don't highlight those teachings. The study is the first in which the think tank looked at civics, and the fourth with U.S. history standards. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and subscribe for free to the front page. Just search Washington Times on your favorite podcast platforms. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.